The turquoise waters of the Metkayina Reef no longer bring peace to the Sully family. Weeks after the tragic death of their son Medium, the family is drowning in silent grief. Neytiri's heart has turned to cold stone, filled with a jagged hatred for all humans, while young Loake carries the crushing weight of a guilt that makes him want to disappear. Even Jake, the great Toruk Makto, feels his spirit breaking. He begins to doubt their ancient faith in Eywa as the shadow of the RDA grows longer. In a desperate move to protect their loved ones, Jake and Neytiri make a heartbreaking decision to banish Spider. They force the boy to board a merchant ship, sending him back to the human camps for his own safety. As the ship rises into the clouds, they have no idea that they are sending him straight into a nightmare. The family is fractured, the hero is weary, and a new fire is about to be lit that will consume everything they love. The journey to safety becomes a descent into hell when the sky screams with the arrival of the Mankwon clan. These are the Ash people, aggressive, soot-covered warriors who reject the peaceful ways of the forest. Led by their vicious leader, Varong, they swarm the merchant ships like a plague of fire. They loot the vessels and execute survivors without mercy, turning the clouds into a graveyard of burning metal. In the chaos, the Sully family is violently torn apart. Neytiri fights with the fury of a demon until a jagged arrow from Varang's bow pierces her shoulder, forcing her Banshee to carry her unconscious body away to the high camp. Below, the ship thunders into the jungle floor. Loak and the children crawl from the wreckage, clutching human rifles to survive the dark woods. Isolated and hunted, Jake is cornered by his eternal ghost, Quaritch. The two enemies are forced into a deadly, silent truce when they realize the children are lost in the wild without oxygen masks. As the air on Pandora turns deadly for Spider, his lungs begin to fail. Just as he collapses from the lack of oxygen, Kiri taps into her divine power. She connects her neural cue to the glowing soil, calling upon the very heartbeat of the planet. In a stunning display of bioluminescence, ancient mycelium spores envelop Spider's body, performing a miracle that defies science. He begins to breathe the toxic air of Pandora as if he were Nausix, growing his own neural cue from the base of his neck. But the wonder is cut short when the Ash people capture them. Varong, impressed by the power of human weapons, forces Quaritch to teach her tribe the way of the gun. The Mankwon plan to use this stolen fire to conquer all of Pandora. However, Kiri's connection to Eywa is stronger than their hate. She commands the vines and the forest floor to rise up, subduing the fighters and allowing the children to escape into the arms of a rescue party led by a recovering Neytiri. Back at High Camp, the scientists discover a secret that could change the fate of the galaxy. Spider's body has been altered by a mysterious organism, a biological key that could allow every human to breathe on Pandora without a mask. This makes him the most valuable target in history. While Kiri discovers the truth of her miraculous birth from the spirit of Grace Augustine, the family returns to the sea to regroup. But the tension is at a breaking point. Neytiri, blinded by her grief, views Spider as a dangerous liability and suggests a horrific sacrifice to keep the family safe. Jake is horrified, sparking a rift between husband and wife. Meanwhile, Loak is pushed to the edge by his father's harsh words. Feeling responsible for his brother's death and rejected by his family, Loak attempts the unthinkable before being saved by Kiri and Cyria. He repairs his mother's broken bow and sets out alone to find the outcast Tulkin, Payakan, seeking redemption in the deep. While the Sullas struggle to stay together, the RDA is building an empire of ash. General Ardmore and the cold-hearted Parker Selfridge are expanding their reach from Bridgehead City, hungry for the secret inside Spider's blood. Quaritch travels deep into the volcanic territory of the Mankwon, bringing a gift of flamethrowers and assault rifles. He offers Varong a deal written in blood. Help the RDA capture Spider, and together they will burn every other clan to the ground. Varong, enthralled by the power of human fire and the strength of the resurrected soldier, begins a dark romance with Quaritch. They forge an alliance that blends Nausic's ferocity with human technology, creating an army that Pandora has never seen. This new force represents the ultimate betrayal of the planet. Nausic's fighting for the very people who wish to destroy their home. The stage is set for a global war where brother will fight brother, and the air itself will turn to smoke. The peace of the Metkayina village is shattered when the combined forces of the RDA and the Ash people arrive like a storm. To prevent a total massacre of the Sea people, Jake Sully surrenders himself. He is taken to the heart of the RDA base to face a public execution, a trophy for the humans he once betrayed. Inside the cold, glass walls of the base, Quaritch and Varong celebrate their victory, but they underestimate the bond of the Sully family. Neytiri, recovered and fueled by a mother's vengeance, infiltrates the base alone. With the help of a rogue scientist, she breaks Jake free from his cage. In the frantic escape, Spider uses himself as a human shield, protecting Jake from the hail of bullets. As they fly away on Neytiri's Ikrin, Jake is still consumed by doubt and nearly kills the boy he blames for his pain. But at the last second, Neytiri stops him. She reminds Jake that the boy just saved his life, finally opening her heart and accepting Spider as a true member of the family. The Tulkun Council initially refuses to fight, clinging to their ways of peace even as the water turns red with blood. But Lo AK brings forth Payakan and the last survivors of the human whaling massacres, forcing the elders to face the truth. There is no peace without victory. Jake rebonds with the mighty Toruk, taking to the skies once again as the legendary leader of all clans. The next day, the ocean and sky explode into a symphony of war. Thousands of Nasik's warriors and massive Tulkun whales decimate the RDA fleet, crushing steel ships with primitive fury. But the victory comes at a devastating price. The Manquan launch a counterattack that leaves the Sea village in ruins. The beloved Ronald is mortally wounded and dies during childbirth, leaving Neytiri to save the newborn baby. In the chaos, Neytiri is captured by Quaritch and Varong. A desperate trade is made, Neytiri's life for Spider's freedom. Jake intercepts them mid-flight, and the rivals fall onto the jagged, floating rocks for one final duel. On the floating rocks, the final battle reaches its peak. Kiri, channeling the absolute power of Eywa, commands the entire planet to fight back. The wildlife swarms the remaining human craft, and the forest itself seems to scream. Kiri uses her neural connection to overwhelm Varong, sending the fire leader fleeing in terror as the RDA flagship is vaporized in a massive magnetic flux. On the cliff's edge, Spider shoots Quaritch to save Jake, but the boy falls toward the abyss. In a moment of pure redemption, Quaritch catches him, and Jake pulls them both to safety. The villain surrenders, disappearing into the shadows as the war finally ends. In the aftermath, the Sully family connects to the underwater spirit trees. Spider is finally initiated into the clan, meeting the spirits of the deceased and the essence of Grace Augustine. As the camera pans out across the moon, it reveals that Pandora is a massive, interconnected neural network, a living god that has finally woken up to protect its children forever.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support means everything.